I'm out on a walk. This is somebody's property I probably shouldn't be on, but there's like this massive bamboo ingrowth and this lovely vine system behind me. And I really wanted to stop and talk about being authentic and open and raw, and about the fact that I think that it's really human and that we should do it, like all of us. I've heard influencers in like the coaching and online coaching business talk about how you shouldn't share you going through your journey if you're trying to help people through their journey. But I agree and disagree. I mean, I can see how it wouldn't be encouraging to watch somebody fall apart live, and then how that wouldn't help you to trust somebody to get you through. But I want to clarify and identify that I completely believe that we can all heal ourselves, but it's an ongoing process. We don't just hear one thing or learn one thing and go from there and that's it, and the rest of it is peachy keen. You know, it's a daily, momentary, continual process, and that's a good thing and a bad thing. The good thing is, like, what do you expect from happiness? You know, you think you're just gonna get there and then you're gonna be there? No. That's not how it is. Life is multifaceted. Life has different shades of every emotion, thought, feeling, color, idea of existence. Life has different shades of all that, and that's why it's complex. Think about the universe. Think how complex the universe is. It's more complex than we can comprehend at all. Like, we can't even wrap our minds around it. Not even like the most well experienced scientist that studies, meteorologist, you know, like the depths of the universe. We can't comprehend it. And I think that our spirits are in tune with that, you know, continuum of universal energy, and that living the life we live, where we're so contained by these decisions and choices that we have because we're so spoiled, so many of us are so pampered with so many choices, that we complicate things to the point that we can't even be happy because we have so many things that can go wrong and so many choices about how things should be or could be. And it's just very sad to me because we are limiting our existence, and we also live in a complete denial about whether we are beings of energy, where in fact I say that, but most people, if you talk to them, agree and feel it and know. It's like walking into a room and just knowing that something's off, you know? It's not just body language, it's not just being intuitive, but the thing is that we are beings of energy and we interact with ourselves. So as far as, I mean, with each other and ourselves. And like, when we're constantly hating on ourselves in our head and constantly upset about, like, we got the wrong food, or we had to wait in line at the gas station, or, you know, we're not where we want to be in life, or, you know, whatever it may be, then we are not in tune, we're not aligned, and there's a lot, it just goes both ways. Like, our bodies need to be aligned in order for our spirits to be aligned, and our spirits need to be aligned in order for our bodies to be aligned. And we do so much compartmentalizing in today's culture, like especially in the health and wellness industry, especially in, like, sorry for the noise, like my experience in Western medicine. Like, it just is so disheartening because you can't just go to the cardiologist and have him fix your little heart problem, and then have him tell you like he doesn't even want to hear the other stuff because that's not his specialty. He's here to do this one thing. We all need to be approached as a whole body, whole person, mind, body, spirit being. And I think that compartmentalization is what has created such a lack of adequate healthcare service, even with like all this access and all this availability. It's created such a failure in the healthcare system. And I would just like to use that as a comparison to make a point that like we are also doing that to ourselves as people. And the reason I started with like the information about sharing your own journey and being raw and genuine is because I've experienced doing that to myself as a person. And so I just think it's important to recognize that like we are these complex, complicated, beautiful, multifaceted, confusing beings, and that we're blessed to be like this. Like we are humans. We are spiritual beings. We feel things. We feel each other. We make each other feel things. We feel nature. We can get energy from nature. And I hope that we can all learn and have, I know there's a big paradigm shift coming with healthcare and self-healing and understanding that there's all kinds of healing modalities that have been going on for like thousands of years that just Western medicine has not been even mature enough to be able to figure out. And at the same time, there's things that Western medicine has done for us that these other modalities haven't been able to do for thousands of years. Especially if we're talking like you need surgery and things. But where it needs to meet in the middle is it needs to meet in the middle on the ground that you might not always need surgery. You might need to consider these other things that you can do for yourself before you get surgery. And that's exactly how I think that we need to look at ourselves. Like we think we're broken and something, that we're missing something, like we need, we have a chemical imbalance, or we don't have that next job that we want, or that relationship that we want, and we don't have something outside of us. We think that we're missing, but what we're doing is we're compartmentalizing how we feel is being separated from this logical mental idea that has really been very manipulated by societal norms and expectations and things that have been handed down by generations that also are very manipulated by societal norms and societal expectations. And those societal norms and expectations have been highly manipulated by advertising and all kinds of different, especially agricultural companies, and the mental health and mental wellness and happiness and well-being are so intertwined with health and wellness. And I understand that I am blessed to be a healthy person. But we all have our struggles, we all have our instances, and I'm not coming from a judgmental place. And I also, disclaimer, am not giving any medical advice or professional advice. I am a nurse. I'm about to be done with my master's. I've been a nurse for 8 years. I've been working in the hospital for 15 years. I've been a human for 34 years. I've been a mother for 11 years. I've been a daughter. I've been a sister. I've been all kinds of things, and this is just what I feel and think from life. And I just feel like, you know, I've been working a lot on my relationship with myself and those close around me, and my relationship with myself, it affects those around me so much, and that we don't give ourselves enough credit for what we can do for ourselves emotionally and physically. and that I hope that this paradigm shift that is bubbling up is going to awaken us to alternative medicine and alternative therapies and how important the application of these things are. Like how important it is not to just know that meditating helps you, not to just know that having a morning routine helps you, not to just know that this or that dietary thing helps you, but to work on yourself until you are in a place where you can do these things with ease, because they are what you do every day. You have ingrained them into your habit, and they are a protective mechanism to prevent illness. We need to really focus on preventing illness, mental and physical and spiritual. And so, you know, we need to simplify, because we're so confused by the massive amount of information. The dietary industry, the health and wellness industry, do this, do that, diabetes, do this, do that. I mean, all these things, it's so complex and complicated. And like, if we could simplify and do one little thing consistently every day for ourselves that is proactive about us evolving in a way that we want to evolve. Like for instance, if you want to start getting off of some of your diabetes medications, or you want to improve your hemoglobin A1C, you want to improve your blood sugar, or you have diabetes in your family and you want to prevent it, you can try to eat less sugar. You don't have to delete everything immediately, but the more you delete from your diet and the more you engage in these activities that help people get rid of diabetes and get rid of diabetes medications, like fasting, for instance, is a massively powerful tool, the more you'll feel like this is something you want to do, like this is something you can't imagine not doing. And it won't be so unfathomable. How many things have you been introduced to in your life that seemed completely unfathomable, but that you were able to, down the line, figure out how to get them out of your life? So my point is just that, like I always say, we are constantly evolving as human beings. Imagine where you were last year in what you do, how you think, the books you read, the shows you watch, the things you do on a daily basis, the things you eat, to today. In a year's time, things slowly change. We constantly evolve, and how your body has changed, how your mindset has changed. And the thing is that unless you take the reins, unless you take the responsibility for what you've been putting into your mind and into your mouth, not just putting into your mind, reading and watching and listening to things, but allowing to go through your mind, until you take the responsibility for what you are allowing to go through your mind, into your mind, in your mouth, and through your digestive system, you do not have the right to complain about feeling bad, being tired, being depressed. I'm not saying we shouldn't all be heard, because we should all be heard. But unless you take the reins and attempt to make the smallest little changes, just make the smallest little changes, and they will add up. People always say this, but you have to believe it, and you have to force yourself to believe these things. When you have these negative thoughts, these things, I've been working with it today. I woke up, I just didn't sleep enough. There's the world is crashing down around us. People are dying. Death numbers doubled. The pandemic is coming. I'm at the front lines. So many people I know are police, correctional officers, nurses, doctors. We're at the front lines. We have to be out there, whether we want to or not. It's our duty. And I just am right now out here in nature, talking to you guys about what I do and what I've learned over the last 17 to 18 years in order to go from, tried to commit suicide when I was 16 because I was so wrapped up in self-pity and negative thinking that I thought I was invaluable because I allowed negative thoughts to control my mind, my emotions, and my behavior. And what I have done, what I have physically and mentally and emotionally, daily, every minute done to get from that person to where I am now, where I feel completely compelled to help other people get themselves out of this rut, is every time these thoughts go through my mind, you have a decision whether or not you're going to roll around in them. You have a decision with this pandemic whether or not you're going to spend a lot of time in fear. It's easy to. It's the easier thing to do. You have a decision when negative thoughts go through your mind whether or not you're going to feed into them and allow them to control your emotions. And if you want to change, if you want to have more joy in your life, you have to practice joy. You have to practice an attitude of gratitude. You have to know that there's a natural mystic blowing in the air. You know, you have to keep it realistic and always be aware. I mean, you have to tune in. You have to find anything that gives you any spark of joy and fight for that, increasing that, double down on that in your life as if your freaking life depends on it. Because it kind of does. Sorry, I thought I turned y'all off. But listen, if I did turn y'all off, maybe you are becoming defensive and you need to work on your mind and on your thoughts, you know? But I'm not joking, because this is life or death. Living a life devoid of joy, where you're constantly pissed about whatever this or that, it's real. And I know that it's a deep, 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 deep hole to be buried in. And it's like a whirlwind, and it's like everything's fighting against you. I've been there. It's been a roller coaster. But like I said, over the last 17 plus years, I have retrained myself to not as much allow that shit in my mind. When it comes, I work proactively, and I've been doing it today. I'm doing it now. I'm doing it this morning. I have a lot of fear. I have self-doubt. I have major existential crisis questions. I have spiritual questions. I have emotional questions. I have physical questions. How have I not let myself advance in so many ways? I talk about all this stuff. I know about all this stuff. How have I held myself back for so many years? How am I not better? I have all those thoughts. And what I'm doing right now out on this walk, what I was doing this morning when I looked detached from my husband, what I'm doing is those thoughts cross through my mind, and as quickly as I can grab those little motherfuckers, those slithery snake-ass motherfucker thoughts, I look them in the eye and I say, you motherfucker are not allowed in my life. You stank-ass, rank-ass, nasty piece of shit, get the fuck out of my brain. And sometimes I can't be that aggressive because I feel controlled by it. So I say things like, nope, that's a lie. I refuse. Nope. No. Sometimes all I can say is no. Like, and then I try to put positive things in there. Like, look how you're still alive. Look how you are still talking. Look how you're walking. Like, any of those things, anything. And find your joy. Find something that gives you some sort of joy, and hold on to it, and hold on to that feeling, and make it grow by thinking about it. This is all practice. It's all habit. And I know for a fact that you guys can all do it. So please, for God's sake, for the universe's sake, for Source's sake, for Buddha, Allah, for Mohammed, for freaking all of these people who are the same, we're talking about the same energy, in my opinion. For whoever you believe in and whatever you believe in, I find it all valuable. And just please do it. Do it for yourself. Take care of yourself. Slow down. Focus on yourself. Fight those negative thoughts. Fight those negative feelings. Don't disallow them in your life. It's a practice. It's a daily practice. And I'm going to keep doing mine, which is walking out here, listening to these beautiful birds, and breathing exercises are very important. So I'm walking and breathing and trying to tune in to the fact that I have so much to be grateful for. So that's it. Love you guys. Mwah.